wake up and realize I had it all.
Hey, how you doing out there? It's your boy Chris Harris back with you again here at Open Doors. I have another great topic, another great episode, and I know we're going to have an awesome time today. Before we get started, I want you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and I want you to share this podcast to the people that you know. All right, let's get started. So recently, 50 Cent was doing an interview, and he made a comment about female rappers and the influence of female rappers in society with other females. I want to play what he said, and then I want to have a conversation about it, okay? Let me play the video for you.
And what about the female rappers?
The female rappers, I just want somebody to break that is not trying to sell some box.
You ain't lying.
One more. I just need one. I don't need 10. I just need one. I think this might be damaging female culture.
What do you think about sexy?
Seriously.
No, serious. Let's talk about it. Because what do you think about Sexy Red's new lip gloss line called Gonorrhea Nut? I mean, it's wild out here.
She wants to convince them to put gonorrhea on it.
I mean, it's wild out here.
No. Look at what you just said, bro.
Gonorrhea and Ultimus.
I got that new gonorrhea on my mouth.
Yeah, that's the new wave.
You see how
Can you believe we're here now when it comes to music? Like, this is.
Yikes. Mike, what are you supposed to say for male artists? Look, I was doing Candy Shop.
Yeah. 21 questions.
Like metaphors for sexual experiences. They are doing flat out saying the experience in the music now. And then it's like, you know what? Brian Pumper would be a hit right now.
You ain't never
Yeah.
The porn star is going to say it the right way.
Crazy.
You go back and look at the porn star rappers, what they were saying, and say, this is really what's hitting right now.
Yeah.
Because it's that graphic right now with the things that they're saying.
It
then
is.
I'm like, look, I think it's fun. And I think that's what.
So you heard what 50 Cent said, and I believe that he's right. I believe what he said is right. When you look at the climate of the female rappers and what they're putting out, definitely has an influence on the female culture in general. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Do you believe that the music that these female rappers are putting out is damaging the female culture? If it's sexualizing women in our culture? 50 Cent said it, and I believe that he's definitely right. But for me, there's a big but that I want to talk about, and we'll get to that. But let's get back to what he said. Because everything that you hear, and I don't listen to that music anymore. I've been saved, but it's out there. I have kids, other people, young people I'm around. So I hear it, people listening to it. But everything is sexual. It's sexual. And there are young people who are listening to this music and they're being influenced by it. And they're following suit. They're following everything that these rappers, these entertainers do. And they're modeling their life from what they hear in the music of these entertainers. So I definitely believe that everything that you hear from these women, and I don't know why, because it's supposed to be music. I don't know why everything has to be sexual. And it's almost saying like that's the only thing that women know. And that's not true. That's not true. But they're pumping that. They're pumping that out there and making it seem like that's all they know is sexual nature and sexual things. And these young girls, my daughters play softball and they have, softball, they have their walk-up song. So when they go up to bat, when it's their turn, they play a snippet of a song that they pick. So they have their walk-up songs. And some of the songs that these young girls be listening to, I remember one girl was listening to Rihanna and he was talking about strip clubs and dollar bills. And the girl was 11. The girl was 11. I'm like, man, some of this music that you got 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old girls listening to this music, to Sexy Red. And then I'm tripping because I'm like, how are you gonna put out a product called gonorrhea? I mean, like they just out with it. They don't even care. Society doesn't even care anymore. Society doesn't even care because our standards are so low. Our standards are so low. So yeah, I believe it. All you hear, and it's just influencing these young girls. You see young girls twerking. You see young girls, shaking their behind, and you like, is this what you about? Is this what you're being taught? But that's what they're being taught from the music, because the music does influence them. To me, it's very demonic. It's very demonic. And that's the agenda. That's the agenda, is to put out this demonic music to influence the next generation, to influence young people who listen to it, not even young people, but older people, to be sexualized, to be sexual. It promotes lust, it promotes fornication, it promotes all these different things. It's demonic. It's demonic. So it's definitely ruining the culture. Just what they talk about in the lyrics, that has become the gospel to a lot of people, and they're living their life that way. It's sad. It's sad. So he was right. I believe he's right. But here is the big but. Here is the big but for me, because it's not just female rappers. It's all music. His music as well. I was listening to it. I said, that's like what's the saying? The pot calling the kettle black, because it's not just the female rappers, it's all that the rap music. It's all this music. It's highly demonic. It's highly demonic. I mean, his music out there. Before I got saved, I used to listen to 50 Cent. And you can go through his catalog and listen to his lyrics, because if it's not promoting sex, and he said, "Oh, I use metaphors. I talked about the candy shop and 21 Questions." You're still talking about sex. I mean, you might have dressed it up a little more, and that can be the argument. Like, they're more out with it. I understand, but people listening to it know what you're talking about. They know you ain't going to the candy store. They know you ain't going to the woman down the street getting some now laters and some pickles and stuff. They know what you talking about. People are listening to the music. So you may have used a metaphor, but they knew you were talking about sex. And not just sex, the violence though. The violence, the sex, it's just promoting sin. All the music is promoting sin. And like I said, that's the agenda. It's a demonic agenda that's out there. I'm in Chicago. The drill music that was here, the drill rap music, was terrible. It's not even in Chicago anymore. It's all over. I hear it in Texas, and I hear, Houston, Dallas, these different places. I hear this drill music, and I'm like, these guys are just gang banging on CD. Are just gang banging in music, and they're dying over it, and they're killing each other over it. And they kill people, and they talk about it in the music. I said, this got to be the dumbest generation ever, because I'm like, you just telling on yourself in the music. These must be crack babies or something that grew up and started doing music, because I'm like, who does that? Like, y'all, they record everything, they film everything, you do some dumb stuff, you got it on video, so the cops see. Ain't nobody snitching, you snitching on yourself. You snitching on yourself, nobody snitching, and then you talk about it in your music. You get you get the feds evidence. Oh, he talked about it. He told on himself. And they come lock you up, and then people talking about who snitched. He snitched on himself. Dumbest generation. But anyway, it's very demonic. I mean, these are young killers rapping about killing people, and people be out there listening to the music like it's not music. This guy's telling that he killed somebody. This guy's telling that he shot somebody. This guy's telling that he's selling drugs. And the question we have to ask in real talk is that, when did this stuff get popular? Why are rappers why are we so attracted to these rappers, and why do they influence us so much? Think about that for a second. These female rappers, these male rappers, why are we so influenced by them? Because most of them talk about garbage. They talk about, sleeping around, doing drugs, selling drugs, killing, all this type violence. They promote these things, and we eat it up. We're going to their concerts. We're rapping their music. It's demonic lyrics, and we're rapping it. It's demonic, and we're rapping it. That's why I say it's all demonic. It's all satanic. It's spells that, I've seen testimonies of people who have been in that crowd, and they say a lot of these guys and girls too, before they go into the studio, they do rituals. They do witchcraft. They do satanic rituals before they go in. They do it over their CDs. It's satanic spells that through the music that hypnotizes people. Because why are we so infatuated with this demonic agenda? So it's not just the females, but it's all through. It's all through. You know, I was watching some of the classics, even on TV. I was watching some of the classics. Like, I like the classic show. I like, Sanford and Son. I like Good Times. I like the Cosby Show. Just to name a few. Remember What's Happening with Raj and Rerun and D. Remember that Big Mama was in the first one. Remember his mom. And those were classics because they were clean comedy. And I was saying, man, the stuff that we see today, you would never see in those type of shows. It was clean. Type of stuff that we watch today. They'll put anything on TV today. They'll talk about anything. They'll say anything. I said, I thought you would get fined. Like FCC airwaves, you would get fined if you said certain things. Now it seems like everything is fair game. Every topic is fair game. Every storyline is fair game. Well, you didn't get those in the classics. You see how things have changed on TV. But when you look at TV and how things have changed, our standards have changed. Our morals have changed. We've lost our morals. We've lost our standards in society. And that's why you see a lot of filth and a lot of garbage. Because I watch the classics. And I'm like, man, the stuff that we see on TV today, a lot of things, I don't even want to watch TV too much today. Because you see they always want to cram down our throat a homosexual relationship, a lot of violence, a lot of vulgarity, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of just trash. TV today is trash for the most part. But you didn't see those in the old show. You didn't see those in the classics. You didn't see those in the show. So you can just see the change, how we've changed. And it's not for good, in my opinion. You see how our standards have gone way in the trash. Way in the trash. But you see it though. You see it that the music, the TV, they're pushing that agenda to have us act savagely, to have us act, ratchet. Back to the females, that's what they're promoting. They're promoting this ratchet identity. Oh, to be ratchet, to be a hood rat, to act a certain way, to dress a certain way, to behave a certain way. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing that because it moves you far away from your identity that God gave you. Same with the guys, Like I said, these guys, the drill music, the rapping about drugs, and people say, oh, that's what they knew. Well, you don't have to promote it. It's not a good lifestyle. People are going to prison. People are dying. People are going to hell off of this lifestyle. Why are we promoting it? Why are we promoting it? But you see the agenda. You see the push of it, and we eating it up. We idolize these characters. And our young kids are just taking, they want to be like these characters. They model their life. They mimic what they hear, and they mimic what they see. It's dirty. It's dirty. It's dirty. It's definitely dirty. So yeah, 50 Cent was right, but it's not just with female rappers. I mean, they're sexualizing, but you see it on TV. You see it in the movie, the sex scenes now are different from what they were back in the day. The sex scenes, what I'm saying? You see it. You see it just all around us. It's just time for a change. We need to go back to that clean comedy. You don't have to have that raunchiness to be funny. Like, with comedians, you don't have to cuss to be funny. Like who said cussing was funny? Some of these comedians, every word they say, other word they say is a cuss word. That's not funny. That's just you cussing. You can be funny without cussing. You can be funny without, or you can be entertaining without doing something that's sinful. You can. So it's just time for a change. And the next generation and generations after that, because of the music, because of what they see and what's going on in our society, they're imprisoned by it before they even get started. Like I said, young girls are listening to this music and they're thinking that's the way we could live our life, and that's shaping their personality. That's when what they hear and what they see, it shapes their personality, and it's not good. It's not good. But that's all I have for us today. I would love to hear what you have to say about the topic. Like I said, 50 Cent was right on. He was right on. Bullseye. It's definitely that's what they're promoting. They're promoting sex. They're sexualizing, women everywhere, and they're just promoting a lot of debauchery. They're promoting a lot of sin at the end of the day. But it's not just music; it's all over our society. But what do you think about it? What do you have to say about it? Let me know in the comments. Remember to share this podcast. Before I get out of here, I want to give a shout out to the Dream Team, Blessed Dreams Production, my boy Alfred, Eyes Have Not Seen, my sister Marilyn. Until the next time another episode drops here at Open Doors, be blessed. Talk to you soon.
Don't ever take nothing for granted, man. Hey, you gotta wake up and realize it all.